Hello friends. So today actually I'm going to review both of these bikes. So I think this was a much waited video that you guys are actually expecting from me. So since I ride both of these bikes and I have almost done like 25,000 kilometers in this CBR, and here I have done almost like 2,000 kilometers. So I have done a lot of like long rides, city rides and whatnot in this. And in this bike, for the last like couple of days or almost a month, I had been using this. I had been on a long ride also. So what I have done is like this is going to be a quick review. So basically I'll have the points and I'll just explain which is better and why it is better. So I have done a list of points. I'll just try to share my views on it. So after this video I'm going to do one more video where I'll have a drag between these two vehicles, because I know a lot of friends, they ask me for this for a drag between the CBR 250, Dominar and Duke 390, all that. So for that I'll do a separate video. So this will actually be the answer to the questions which a lot of friends ask me, should I go for a Dominar or should I go for a CBR. So for that question I think this should be enough for as an answer. So first point is, first question which people ask me, which is more powerful. Okay, so as on specs you can see that Dominar is more powerful, and that's pretty correct. So the Dominar has got more power and more torque. So the initial pull is actually high with Dominar in compared to CBR. But if you talk about the top speed, then I think the Dominar does about like 10 or 15 kilometers more than CBR, because what I have done in CBR is about 150 kilometer per hour. That's what the highest speed I have clocked, and with Dominar I have done about 120, 152 or 53. But this can easily do 60 or 160, I guess. So this has a better top speed, and this has definitely better power and torque. The next point is air blast. So this being a sports bike and it has this windshield, for that reason the air blast is comparatively lower than what the Dominar has. So the Dominar definitely has a lot of air blast, but one good thing is Dominar is that the weight of the vehicle is little higher than the CBR, so it's a very heavy bike. So for that reason, despite of the wind blast, you don't feel shaky while riding. And if you just add a windshield to the Dominar, then I think this should actually solve the wind blast problem. So basically at speeds like 110 or more than that, you start getting this wind blast over here. So you face it here exactly. So that actually kind of pushes you back. So for that you can just have this windshield. Brakes. So basically both of these bikes have got very good brakes. So in my CBR I don't have a ABS, but still it does a very good job. The Dominar has a ABS. So initial impression with the Dominar's rear brake was a little bad. I was feeling that the brake actually lacked proper friction. But right now what I see, the brakes has improved a lot. In my Mangalore trip it has helped me a lot. The ABS does the work very nicely. Even on corners and all, you feel very confident while braking if it is necessary, if required. And CBR, obviously the stock tires were not so great. For that reason the brakes were not, you don't get that that confident in the brake. But right now, since I have replaced the tires with Pirelli, so now it does a very good job. And the CBR with the ABS model has definitely a better braking system, because a friend of mine who owns a CBR 250 with an ABS, so I have seen his brakes are even better than my bike. So brakes department, I think both of them does a very good job. Next point, clutch feedback. So if it is about clutch and gear shifting, definitely the CBR has a better edge on the Dominar. The Dominar clutch is smooth, but the CBR's clutch is even better. The feedback from clutch is better. It's silky smooth. You can say it is very smooth. It's smoother than any other bike that I have ridden so far. And if it is about the gears, okay, so here actually CBR goes in a better, it gets better points, because the CBR's gear system is very refined. I can say it is very smooth. But Dominar sometimes it struggles with the gear. You hear that sound when you shift the gears. So some way CBR is better on gear shiftings and clutch. Next is vibrations. Okay, so here if you see, then CBR actually wins this point, because CBR doesn't have any engine vibrations. So basically if you are crossing above 120 speed, then this bike has got vibrations, little bit of vibration which you'll feel on the handlebar, not anywhere else, only on the handlebar you'll feel that vibration. That too above 120 speed. But Dominar at 4000 to 4500 RPM, you're going to feel the vibration. And some way I felt that after like 5 or 5500 RPM, the vibration slightly disappears. So after that, you actually feel a little bit of comfort. You feel comfortable on the handlebar and the tank. So in Dominar you get vibrations at 4,500 RPMs, almost on the handlebar and the tank, and sometimes on the foot pegs also. So that again, as I said in my earlier videos, if you are riding a Honda or something, then you will actually feel that vibration is happening. If you are riding a Bajaj or you have ridden an Enfield or some other bike, then in that case you will not feel the vibration to be so much disturbing. So that's how it is. So next is the suspension. So in the suspension department, I'll say honestly, the CBR actually wins this point, because even if you are at a speed of like 130, 140 also, uh, while there is a jerk in the road, you don't feel, you feel very much confident and comfortable in this bike. So the road grip wise and the suspension, overall suspension feedback is better in CBR. That doesn't mean that Dominar has a bad suspension, it also has a good suspension, but on top speed, sometimes you feel that the bike jerks a little bit. Like speeds above like 120, 130, you feel that it jerks a little bit. So even talking about comfort on the suspension, then I think both of them have a decent suspension. But CBR on high speed, you don't feel that much confident. Whereas CBR suspensions are absolutely amazing. And if it is an off-road, then I think you will have a bad time. You have a tough time with CBR on the front suspension especially. So you feel all that feedback on your hand, and that again, because of the sporty sitting posture, the whole body's weight comes on your arm, on your wrist. So for that reason, you feel that roughness from the road for CBR. But in Dominar, I have seen in off-road also, you feel very nice, you feel very comfortable because of the straight sitting posture, and so weight is actually divided across both the wheels, so that way you feel comfortable. Then cornering. So if it is cornering, definitely CBR with the Pirelli tires or the Michelin tires. It's best while cornering, because last ride I had been to this Mangalore while coming through, returning back through Agumbe Ghat. I saw this bike was at some point of time you feel little, you don't feel so much confident on the corners. Sometimes maybe the main reason is because of the tires, since they are MRF tires. Even though they are Rev C1 is a very good tire though. But I think if you install maybe Pirelli or Michelin, the feedback will actually, you will get a better feedback from the Dominar on corners. But otherwise, I think both are good. But CBR does a very good job while as far as the cornering is concerned. Then top speed. So as I said, top speed is something where I think CBR does about like 150, and this does about like 155, 160. So that's all. But the time taken from 0 to 100, I think Dominar does a better job. So for that, anyway, I'll explain in my next video where I'll do a drag between both of these bikes. So I'll ask my friend to ride the CBR and I'll ride the Dominar, and then again we'll exchange and we'll see. So in that case, we can actually figure out which does a better job as far as the speed is concerned. So, but top speed, then I think Dominar is better there. So next question is comfort on highway and cities. Okay, first I'll clear the highway thing. So if it is on the highway, definitely both the bikes does a good job. The CBR is very stable on the highways and you feel very much comfortable riding it. Only that since it's a bend position, a little bit of bend position for people like me who are like shorter height. So in that case, you little feel that back pain, little bit of back pain. If you ride it for like more than like 300 or 400 kilometers, that is one thing where you might feel uncomfortable. I also did a recent trip to Hyderabad. It was like 600 kilometers up and down. So that time I rode it the CBR. So what happened is like 2-3 places I have to just take a stop for like 10-15 minutes, then just bend around and all that, stretch yourself a little bit. Then I think it does a good job that way. So you don't, it's not so uncomfortable though. So it's also comfortable in highway. And Dominar, as it is a tourer, so the sitting posture is completely upright, you sit straight, so for that reason it is anyway comfortable in the highway. Now coming to the cities. So if it is a city, then my bet goes for the Dominar, because CBR is really bad in the city. So why it is bad? Because of the sporty position again. When you sit like this on the city and you turn around this, that, what happens, the moment you brake, the whole weight of your body comes on your hand. So for that reason you start developing this back pain and neck pain. That's the problem which I had with the CBR. For that reason I actually went for the Dominar again, despite of having such a good bike. So if it is a city ride, obviously I'll go for the Dominar, because it's really comfortable in the city as well. It is very much flickable. You can like, I remember when I was riding the Versus, I felt the height was so high, so how could I ride it? Because for my height it's like impossible. But you won't believe, when I sat on the Versus and I was riding through the city, it was like easiest. was even easier than the CBR because of the weight distribution and the position you sit it. I mean, how you sit on the bike. So that way, I think Dominar does a very good job in the city, and a lot of people were being like asking me, ki, does the engine heats up in the city? So I think these both bikes hit to the same extent. So if you are in a bumper to bumper traffic, I think even CBR pushes that hot air, and even the Dominar does that. But it's very much manageable, and I think this is a very good bike for a city. Now, next question is mileage. So if you say the mileage, then I think the CBR has a better mileage than the Dominar. That too, it depends again what kind of speeds you are doing. So if you do a speed of about like 110 on CBR, you get a mileage of about like 32 to 35. In Dominar, you get somewhere between 30 to 32. So just 2-3 kilometers difference. There is not a huge difference with both the bikes. But if you start doing like 130, 140, then I have seen that my CBR gives about like 28 to 29 mileage, even at like 130, 140 speed. But Dominar drastically the mileage goes to 25 if you go above like 120 speeds. So that's one thing which is concerned about mileage. So I think I have almost covered all the points. Headlights and all, anyway, I have already given the feedback. So still, if you're asking me what about the headlights, then I think the Dominar has a very good low beam, and the CBR has got a very good high beam. So in that case, I think CBR also has a very good light, but Dominar, because it has a LED lamp, so it definitely has a better advantage on the CBR. That's it. I think those are the points. Pillion seat comfort, yeah, that's also one more question which I get from my users. So pillion seat comfort, I think the Dominar is better as far as the sitting posture is concerned, because the pillion sits almost straight, and if it is on the CBR, then it's a little difficult, because when the pillion is there on your CBR, what happens, whole of her weight or his weight falls on your arms the moment you try to brake. So that time it's one very difficult thing that you are going to have, because the whole weight of your body and your pillion's body falls on your wrist, and then you start getting this wrist pain and pains on your palm, all that. So that's very much clear that for pillion, I think this actually has a better sitting posture and better thing to go with. So that's all. I think overall all the points are covered, and full tank range and all, mostly both of them has the same full tank range, around 300, 320 or so, kind of that thing. So now the last question which people often ask me, what bike should I go for? So as I have also said earlier, so I have explained all the specific answers to, and like all the questions you have in mind. I think so. So I think now by that this time you are pretty much clear that which bike does what job, how it is. So what if it is like one line, what you want to know from me, that which bike I should go for? So in that case, I'll say you, if you want a bike, which has very good power, and which has a better comfort on highway as well as city, and which is even comfortable for the pillion, and which can help you in your regular touring, I think that Dominar is a better bike in that sense. And if you want a bike which is super refined and which has like long-term durability is even better, any day you can say that the Honda is better than the Bajaj as far as the long-term thing is concerned, and the quality, obviously the quality of the Honda is any day better than Bajaj. But that doesn't mean that Dominar has a bad quality. It has a very good quality. At least it is the best that I have seen in Bajaj till now. So I think that makes it clear. So what kind of bike you want, and this is again a bike if you want little slightly sporty posture and a little bit aggressive while you ride. So I think that way the CBR is a better choice for you. And if you want a touring, as I said, touring bike, then I think the Dominar is a better bike. So for me, I like both the bikes. So it's really hard. It's really a hard question for me to explain which bike is better for me or better for you. Yeah, but I can say this: if I want to move around the city, then I'm not going to take the CBR because I have like these back pains and all that. So I will go with the Dominar. So that's how it is. So I think you should go and have a test ride of both the bikes and see which bike actually you feel good. So then that's actually one thing which will help you in buying these bikes. So if you're asking about the price, I think almost the CBR is like 40-50,000 different, like more than the Dominar. So considering the Dominar at a price point of say 175 or 180, I think that Dominar makes it as the best bike in that segment. I mean, it's a value for money bike. In 180, just imagine what all things you get. You get LED lamps, you get ABS and a slipper clutch. All these things you get with that price. So I think that way Dominar makes it a better bike. So that's all, my friends. So what you can do is like please try to, if you have any other questions apart from this what I have explained, you can just ask me in the comment section. And I also need an answer from you that what bike do you feel is better actually, CBR or Dominar? Which bike would you like to go for? You can comment in the comment section. So that's all, my friends. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, please give a thumbs up to the video. And please do subscribe to my channel for further videos like this. And apart from that, as I said, I'm going to create 2-3 more videos. I'll also do a comparison between the Dominar with one of my friends, Duke 390. That way also will have some questions and answers ready. And then a couple of other videos are also coming soon. So please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, friends. Have a great day. Bye-bye.